Wow, what's going on, y'all? It's been so long since I made a video. I almost forgot that I even had a YouTube channel. But it's been about a week and a half since I made a video. I'm here in Tulare, I believe it was the name, Tulare, California. I'm about 250 miles away from home. This is the longest intermodal trip that I've ever done. I've been out here for about 3 weeks now. This is the longest intermodal trip that I've done. The furthest that I went was probably like 50 miles. That was the furthest I went, but this trip is 290 miles one way, I believe, something like that. So it's a long trip. So I'm here Tulare, getting loaded up. I know in my last video I said that intermodal was not cool and it really hasn't been going well. I thought that between that time and now that things would get better. Unfortunately, things are just about the same. When it comes to intermodal as compared to OTR, intermodal is way less structured than OTR is. It's way more stressful than OTR is. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot more physical than OTR. And you guys are probably saying, how is that? Well, for the most part with intermodal, you're doing drop and hook. So you're constantly in and out of the truck. For instance, this morning, I left my house at 3 a.m. I was supposed to be here by 8 o'clock. I didn't make it here to 9 o'clock, so I've been sitting here for 3 hours. Usually when you're late to an appointment, they finish all the appointments first, and then they get to you if you miss your appointment time. So I've been sitting here for like 3 hours now. They're finally loading me up. I have about 3 hours and 45 minutes left on my drive clock. And I have to go 250 miles back down in Los Angeles County to drop off this load. I don't think I'm gonna make it. I called dispatch. I let them know that I'm probably gonna have to get a motel room for tonight. They think I'm gonna be able to make it, so I'm gonna just push it and see what I can do. I gotta stop and get fuel, and as you can see, I got 3 hours and 45 minutes of drive time, all right? And I got 226 miles to home. So, and I gotta stop and get fuel, so I don't think I'm gonna make it, but oh well, you know, what can I do? Now the reason why I was late, check this out, y'all. The reason why I was late, the IMG Fontana yard where Prime leaves their loaded and empty trailers at and people park their trucks, it's really small and there's lots and lots of trailers. So they gave me a trailer that was buried behind 6 other trailers. But it just wasn't like as simple as pulling them out, you know, because the yard is small. So I had to pull out these trailers. I had to find a place to put the trailers. I had to attach to them, detach. It was literally, I attached or coupled and uncoupled from 6 different trailers just to get to my trailer. I had to connect to a flatbed. I had to connect to a trailer from a different company. It was just a hassle. It took me about an hour and a half to get all 6 trailers out of the way, park, drop, and then finally get to my trailer. So that made me late, right? Then when I'm leaving the yard, one of the security guards like, "Are you gonna put those trailers back?" No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm late. I organized them nice enough to where they're not in anybody's way. That's why you have yard dogs, because yard dogs there don't seem to ever be doing anything. So here's some work for you today. Put them trailers back. Okay? I'm just saying. All right. Now, what's going on with my brightness here? So I'm late. I was late. I've been sitting here. So intermodal was just really, really, really frustrating. So here's the plan. Here's the plan. I know you guys are probably thinking, well, damn, this guy is all over the place. I'm going to try to hang on. If things don't get better in 1 month, I'm going back OTR. And I say that because you make more money OTR, believe it or not. It's more room to make more money because you're paid by the mile. So if you get your loads down early and move on to the next one and get them done, you have the potential to make more money. Out here is kind of like a base pay. It's just like a base pay no matter how far you drive, how many loads you do. It's like a base pay. I haven't even got a full check yet because I've been my truck's been in the shop, and I haven't been making, having full days, whether it's because my load isn't at the rail yard or, just little things that just messes with you not being able to have a full day and not having a full day of pay. So I haven't had a good check yet where I can actually show you guys and tell you guys this is what you make as an intermodal driver. So if things improve within a month, I'm gonna try to buy my own truck, honestly. And I know you're probably saying this is just too soon, but look, I'm not gonna buy nothing brand new. I'm not gonna buy nothing that's 2018. I can give me a truck that's 2007, 2014, that's under $40,000. Put me a nice little $6,000 down payment. I mean, I have decent credit, and the possibilities are much more great when you're owning your own truck compared to working under a company truck or working for the company, when there's so much overhead, there's so many fees, they have their hand in everything, you know what I'm saying? And it's really frustrating because for the work that I'm doing out here and the pay, it's just not equal. The numbers aren't adding up, and I'm not looking for an easy job. With every job there's some kind of work, that's why it's a job. But if the numbers don't match, if the money ain't right, then it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So that's that. It's just a really frustrating division. It's not really organized. It could be better, and there's always room for improvement. I'm not knocking intermodal. This is something that I really wanted to do, but it's really not working out for me right now. So we're gonna see where I am in a month. If it's working, if it's picking up and being better and things are getting easier, then I'm gonna stick to it. If not, I'm gonna have to go back OTR and just save up some money to buy my own truck, honestly. I don't even want to do the lease program thing, because even with that, you're paying 3 times as much as you paying owning a truck with the lease program. I'm just saying. So, of course I have to do a lot more research. I'm not just gonna jump into it, because it can go right or it can go wrong. It can go right or it can go wrong. So I'm not just gonna jump into it. But the day cab that I have is running fine so far. It's been doing good. It had a little minor problems. There was water in the fuel, so I got my fuel filter changed. It was a 20-minute job. They said it took them 8 hours to do it, though. The truck was just sitting there. So I went out and hung out, came back. The truck was still sitting there after 8 hours. I told them, when are you guys going to finish this? They said, oh, we're going to finish it right now. It only takes 10 minutes. So you mean to tell me it took you 8 hours to do this, but when I come back, it takes y'all 20 minutes to do it? Whatever, fine. My blind spot mirror on the hood, passenger side, it was missing. Got that replaced. That mirror is really valuable, because when you're making a right turn and it gets too sharp, you kind of want to see where your trailer tires are, in the back of your trailer is. If you're getting too close to a street pole, that's a very valuable mirror there. My input, this thing to charge your phone and stuff, didn't work. It wasn't even in that little slot. It was hanging out over there. It wasn't working. Had to get that fixed. I was missing a mud flap on the passenger side, and I didn't know that missing a mud flap was a DOT violation. I didn't even know that. So the guy at International was like, yeah, that's a DOT violation. We got to get that replaced. So they got me a new DOT bumper put on there. So that's that. And then also, believe it or not, my safety or my trailer release handle broke. Well, it didn't break, but it was always kind of loose. I guess they're all loose. He said they can all be loose, but mine specifically was bent all the way down, almost behind my tire. And so I had to get that fixed. And on top of that, the Qualcomm. I finally got the Qualcomm fixed. Life is so much easier. And it's crazy because as soon as I got the Qualcomm fixed, Prime updated the app where you can actually send macros from your phone. I'm like, well, y'all could have did that 2 days earlier. Because then I could have sent my macros from my phone instead of having to call to do a depart thing. So, but who cares? Not really a big deal. Also, I made this mistake a couple of times. This mistake is a mistake that I thought that I would never, ever, ever make, because I'm usually really good about it. But I've dropped my kingpin over my fifth wheel at least 4 times in the last 3 weeks. And it's just because being in a rush. You know what I'm saying? So don't rush things, because that's when you mess up. Luckily for me, I have a day cab. I don't know if it makes a difference, but it's easier for me to get out of that situation, because the only thing I have to do is turn really sharp, and then once you can't go no more, back it back up and just keep turning out at an angle, and then eventually the kingpin will, go opposite of the fifth wheel and it'll release you out. Now, I don't know. I think for a truck, a full-size truck with a sleeper and whatnot, that'll be a little more difficult because you have the extra feet and you can't move as far back before the sleeper comes in contact with the reefer. You know what I'm saying? So, I learned I learned little things like that. So I've dropped my trailer over the kingpin, over the fifth wheel multiple times. Something I thought I would never do, and it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating because when you're in a rush, it's just frustrating, man. And what really made me mad, upset, was this morning. My trailer was buried behind 6 other trailers at the Fontana yard. I had to move 6 other trailers. I had to move a couple flatbeds. I had to move a couple other companies' trailers just to get to my trailer. Then I'm told later on in the day, whenever that happens, take the load as priority. Just pick up any empty trailer you can find. Well, I wish I would have known that before I spent an hour and a half uncoupling and coupling to 6 trailers. Because one of the dispatchers told me, you have to get this trailer because the time that it can stay on here at the yard is limited. So that's why we gave you this trailer, so you can take it out the yard. That was a night dispatch. My dispatch said, in a situation like this, loads are priority. Don't worry about getting a trailer that's buried way back in the back that's going to make you late. If you can find a trailer that's easily accessible, take that one. Yeah, I wish I would have known that, right? But hopefully things get better. Hopefully things get better. I haven't seen a full paycheck yet. The truck is running good. It had a little minor issues. All the problems are fixed. I have no room for negativity. I have no room for failure. So I'm going to just keep pushing and I'm going to keep dealing with it. And we're just going to see where this leads me in the next couple of months, because the pay is not worth the stress. But once I get a full check or a full week, a good week without any problems, I'm going to let you guys know what the pay is looking like. I mean, I got the charger thing fixed, so I can finally get me a printer. Like I said, sometimes they've been really good about it this week, but for the most part, the bill of ladings are never with the trailer. So it's good to have a printer, so that way you can email them, get them emailed to your email, and print them to the printer. So that's that, man. Until next time, guys.